Andy Jassy joined AWS more than 25 years ago. This is his second year as CEO of Amazon. In this, and he has recently written a letter as the CEO do to his shareholders. And that letter is really something to read. I have enjoyed reading it thoroughly, and I would put the link to this letter in the video's description, and I would highly suggest you do too. Where he discusses various other things in his share letter, ranging from AWS stores to AWS itself, advertising, Kuiper, and various other things. But the section which really caught my eye was about generative AI and large language models. Let me read few lines from there. I'm not going to read the whole letter, but just these paragraphs from that letter which would show you how serious AWS is about generative AI, large language models, and various other services. And before I read that, I would also let you know that AWS has recently released two more services, AWS Bedrock and AWS Titan, just for generative AI. AWS Titan is the foundational models based on various industry standards, whereas AWS Bedrock is a new service which provides you an API access to these foundation models. I have couple couple of videos which I did just today around Bedrock and Titan, and I would suggest you to go through them. And again, I will put the link in the video's description. Okay, coming back to Andy's letter, what let me read out aloud what he has written about the large language models and Gen AI. So he says, and I quote, "We have been working on our own LLMs for a while now. Believe it will transform and improve virtually every customer experience, and will continue to invest substantially in these models across all of our consumers, seller, brand, and creator experience. Additionally, as we have done for years in AWS, we are democratizing this technology so companies of all size can leverage generative AI. AWS is offering the most price-performant machine learning chips in Trainium and Inferentia, so small and large, companies can afford to train and run their LLMs in production. We enable companies to choose from various LLMs and build applications with all of the AWS security, privacy, and other features that customers are accustomed to using. Incredibly exciting future ahead in all the areas I mentioned above, many of which will be uniquely enabled through LLMs. So, as I mentioned about those two new services from AWS, one is Bedrock, and then the foundation model thing, AWS Titan. AWS is really serious about the generative AI and how that is going to change the future. AWS is now catching up with Google and other companies like OpenAI in terms of LLMs and its own Gen AI tooling. And AWS Bedrock and Titan are just a start. So, as I mentioned earlier, go through those videos which I just posted today to learn more about these two new services. And don't forget to read this um, letter to the shareholders because it's a really pleasant read. I hope you found it interesting. If you have any feedback, please put them in the comments. Thank you.